DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Now, here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I'm again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. And if any of them say the secret word, they can take home an extra $100. And this is the word right here.
Groucho will talk to our first couple right after we hear this important message from our sponsor. Groucho, Celador Crockett and Charles Snow are on deck, so folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Celador Crockett and Charles Snow. What kind of a name is Celador?
A celador is a door to a cellar.
Oh, you were named after a celador. Why were you named after the door in the cellar?
Well, my mama already had 9 babies, and so she told my sister Margaret that she could name me, and she was going to college.
Your mother was sick of the whole thing, huh?
Yes. And my sister Margaret was going to college, and this college professor told her that 2 of the most beautiful sounding words in the English language were the words cellar and door. So she named me Cellar Door.
Suppose you'd have turned out to be a boy. Would your name have been Attic Door?
My sister was going to name me Rat Trap.
Why, were you a little mouse at the time?
Well, this same professor told her that the 2 most dramatic words in the English language were the words rat and trap, so praise be I was born a girl.
Yes. Makes me happy, too. Your name is Charlie Snow, huh?
Charles Snow.
How tall are you, Charlie?
5'2".
It's the first time we've ever had 5 feet of snow in L.A. Are you pretty sick of that joke, Charlie?
I've heard something like that before. We've had a lot of fun.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Huh?
Have you? That's
what sort of work do you do?
I'm a watchmaker.
Oh, I thought you were doing stick-ups. Why are you wearing 2 watches? Don't you trust either one of them?
Well, Groucho, you're a comedian. You tell
No, wait a
jokes.
minute. That's debatable.
I'm a watchmaker.
Now, where did you get the notion
watches.
that I'm a comedian? If your watches are as run down as my jokes, they would be unrepaired. I didn't see any necessity for applause at that. Don't you feel rather silly wearing 2 watches, Charlie?
2? I wear more than 2. I have quite a few here. There's your cuffling watch and your chronograph and your ring watch.
What's that, my chronograph?
Chronograph, it's a stopwatch.
A stopwatch?
Stopwatch. Then I have the alarm watch.
Why do you have a stopwatch? If it stopped, how do you know what time it is?
This is your alarm watch.
Oh, boy, he's really gone, this fellow.
There's the cuffling watch.
What is this?
The Pell watch.
The Pell watch, huh? And this?
That's a tie clasp watch. This here is a pencil watch. And a ruler on the back.
That's good. In case you're dying by inches, you have your own ruler.
Then we have a buttonhole watch.
That's a belly button watch, huh?
Well, you could call it that.
You have a watch repair shop, Charlie?
Yes, sir, in good old Long Beach, California. It's Snow's Clock Laboratory, Watch and Clock Laboratory. And we're at 1639 East Anaheim Street.
Well, I doubt very much if anybody here is going down to Long Beach to get a watch broken. Now, do you have any other unusual watches on you?
I do, Groucho. I have a few more in my pockets. I'll give you a fast flash on them. This is my cigarette lighter watch.
You must weigh fully dressed around 300 pounds.
My money clip watch. This is my pocket knife watch.
How is it you haven't got Big Ben on you?
Oh, I've got a couple of Big Bens.
You have?
Yes, sir. This one
Where
I
are
made
they,
about 35 years ago in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
That's very nice, too. Now, Charlie, I'd say that you have more ticks on you than a 2-bit flop house. Celador, before I snap my mainspring, I think I better get back to you. Now, you know your name sounds sort of familiar. Celador. Haven't I heard of that name before? Celador.
You might have, Groucho. I was on the $64,000 question program.
Really? Is that so?
Yes.
And did you win any money?
No, I missed the $32,000 question, but I got a car.
What sort of work do you do, Celador?
I'm a modern poet.
A modern poet.
Modern poet.
You mean like Parker, Dorothy Parker?
Well, I like to think
Beyond
of myself.
that, I mean...
I like to think of myself
Ezra
sort of as a
Pound?
modern Elizabeth Browning.
Well, that's not so modern.
Well, I mean,
Well, can you make a living as a writing poetry? Could you give us a sample?
I'm trying to. I'm a struggling poet, and I usually start out my things like this. Somewhere along the way, I picked up the idea of wanting to be a modern poet. Now, is there any place in this world for a girl poet?
I think so, on the freeway.
Lots of people say not, but Zappo did it. Emily
Oh,
did it.
Zappo did it?
Yes,
You mean my
Zappo did
brother?
it. Emily did it. Christina did it. Elizabeth did it. Edna did it.
Yes, and my Uncle Julius did it, and they hung him for it. Well, that was a beautiful poem, Celador. Sort of gets you right here. Was that a quatrain?
I haven't finished yet, Groucho.
You haven't?
No.
You have as far as I'm concerned.
I'm a Southern girl. The
You
trouble with me is I've
Now,
had
is
too
this
many...
part of the poem,
Yes.
or are we back in conversation?
No, this is part of the poem.
It's very difficult to distinguish between your ordinary conversation and the poem.
Well, that's because it's so near to my heart. So
Uh-huh.
near and dear to my
Well,
heart.
go ahead. Keep it clean.
Of course, I'm not very experienced. It isn't that I haven't had a rich, full life. I have known a few pains and a few joys, but there is so much that I haven't experienced. Why, I've never been struck by lightning nor shook by an earthquake, and I've never even been kissed by anyone over 40.
That's a challenge if I ever heard one.
The trouble with me, Groucho, is that I'm a Southern girl. I've had too many chaperones in my life, but this world is filled with 1,000 exciting stimuli, and yet so much has not come my way. I am not very experienced.
No, you will be before the night's over. I hate to put an end to this conversation, but the time flies. Now we're going to play You Bet Your Life. These are names of well-known animals. The letters are all scrambled, and I want you to take a look, unscramble the letters, and then tell me the right name for the animal. Get 4 right in a row, and you win $1,000. Miss 2 in a row, and you're out. All right, George, let's have the first one.
Here it is.
This is an animal. Now you have to unscramble it. You know, it's like those...
Chipmunk.
I'm all right. How are you?
You now have one right.
Porcupine.
Now, don't fool around with this fella. He has a very
Porcupine.
That's right.
You now have 2 right.
Show it him, George. This one has got a hard back and makes a novel lady's handbag.
I can think of him at home, but I can't think of him here.
Well, it's an armadillo.
Oh,
You now have 1 wrong.
Now, this one has a long, thin tail. He likes to play a certain game. And the name here is Samosop. Now, what is the actual name of the animal?
possum.
That's right. Now you have 1 right. Now show him the thing.
Here it is.
This is Why Last Pup. The only place where you'll find this animal outside of a few zoos is in Australia.
Is that a kangaroo?
Kangaroo?
No.
Well, it's too late. It's a platypus.
You now have 1 wrong.
All right, now this word's here, this is heap lent. And this one likes peanuts. Now, what is the name of the animal? This one likes peanuts. What?
Elephant.
Elephant is right.
You now have 1 right.
Now, this sign says, a moth soup pip. This one sometimes is called a river horse. In fact, that's what his name means in English. But I guess it's the Latin name. Well, it's hippopotamus.
You now have 1 wrong.
We just don't know.
Now, the name of this says red bag. Now, this is a tough customer when he's cornered. What is it? This is a tough customer when he's cornered.
Give up.
The Badger.
Oh, the badger.
And that's 2 in a row wrong.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Tunero, so you're all through. However, we don't want you to go away broke, so here's a chance to make 100. No help, please. This is tough. What public office was held by Mayor Jimmy Walker?
He was
The mayor of good old New York.
That's right. He was the governor of Pennsylvania. That's right. Sorry he didn't win more, but thanks, Celador, for being on the show. It was a lovely poet.
You
Thank you, Groucho.
Good night, Shorty.